Solve the equation. Check your solution. 4x minus the quantity 2 minus x equaling -3 times the quantity 2x plus 6. On the left-hand side, we need to distribute the minus sign. You can remember that that's like having a minus 1. So we would have 4x minus 2, and then a negative times this minus is a positive x. On the right-hand side, we must distribute the -3. So that's -3 times 2, -6x. -3 times positive 6 is -18. On the right-hand side, we have a 4x plus x, and that is a 5x in total minus 2 equals -6x minus 18. We have x's on both sides, and we have constants on both sides. Let's collect the x's on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is the vertical method of adding 6x to both sides, as well as collecting the constants on the right side, means adding 2 to both sides. On the left-hand side, we get 11x. -2 plus 2 sums to 0 equals, the x's also sum to 0, -18 plus 2 is -16. I now divide both sides by 11. On the left-hand side, of course, the 11s cancel, and we have plain old x. And on the right-hand side, that is already in a reduced form, so the answer is x equals -16/11. So here's the check of our solution. I've rewritten the equation and its solution. We now need to substitute the -16/11 in place of x. So 4 times -16/11 minus parentheses 2 minus, and then in parentheses, -16/11. And that we want to check to see if it's equal to -3 times 2 times, in parentheses, -16/11 plus 6. Okay, so we need to simplify. Here we have 4 times -16/11. That's going to give us -64/11. Then inside the parentheses here, the minusing a negative is the same as adding a positive. So this is minus, and now I'm going to write 2 as 22/11 to show that in order to add those, they must have the same denominator of 11. On the right-hand side, we have the -3, and then 2 times -16, which would be -32/11. Similarly to what I've done in this parenthesis, I'm going to write the 6 as plus 66/11. We can now simplify inside of both parentheses. So we have -64 divided by 11 minus 22 plus 16 is 38/11. On the right-hand side, we have the -3, and then inside the parentheses, a -32 plus 66 is a positive 34. So we have to multiply the -3 times the 34/11. On the left-hand side, we have -64 minus 38. So combining those into one fraction, we find that it's equal to -102/11. On the right-hand side, we multiply -3 times positive 34, so that's going to be negative. And when we multiply 3 times 34, it's 102, and it's over 11, so it does check.